Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Y'all feel that? That piano was good. This is it right here, PJ. This is it.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. Salute to the family, DJ ZPE and Balance Truth. Thanks for coming through.
I would probably change a few things. Listen to me a bit more. I travel the world with 3 brides, no hate to each his own. My name would no longer be wise. You call me Jesus Jones. Pop off the hammer for jurors. Return of a prodigal son. Go tell your favorite MCs to give him his style back. Here he comes. If Timothy Taylor was given one chance to spit it again, he
family.
It till it's empty. Lock up to the track like Cindy. Black youth will come to the
our
forefront.
people
Hip-hop will feed the masses. No
are being baited.
Will prosper or harass us. I educate your babies. I teach black men to raise them. I civilize your ladies. I'd be Captain Saberho. If Timothy Taylor was given a second chance at life, I tell Shaheed and Culture.
Those who are enemies of ours, they bait us into a confrontation. And we must stop approaching our enemies unprepared. We have to stop that. It's better to have it and don't need it than to need it and don't have it. It's as if everybody's standing their ground but us. And the excuse people use when they commit cold-blooded, premeditated murder is that they were scared. Peace to my brother Big Dog Philly OJ. They always say that they were scared. Even the police, when they commit premeditated cold-blooded murder, they say they were scared. And we have to stop approaching our enemies unprepared. You know, we had a young brother in Florida, 17 years old, by the name of Trayvon Martin, just walking through an apartment complex. And a white supremacist, I say white supremacist, not that they're supreme, it's a mindset that they have for no reason at all. Not because they are supreme, not because they do things that are supreme, not that they perform and show greatness. It's just a mindset that they have about themselves for no reason at all. A white supremacist accosted the little brother Trayvon Martin and murdered him, shot him dead. Even if Trayvon Martin was beating his ass, why would you approach that 17-year-old After the police told you not to approach him, you approached them anyway. That was premeditated murder, and the state of Florida saw nothing wrong with it. And what I can't understand is how a father that have a son who was murdered be so passive and, so forgiving of the man who murdered his son. The state of Florida see nothing wrong with murdering our people. Now, a sister was teaching her daughter how to drive. A pregnant sister was teaching her daughter how to drive. And like I said, a white supremacist in his mind decided to harass her. Now, this is how we should handle these people every time they approach us, and especially our women. Especially our women. This is how we should deal with these people every single time they accost our women. Because if there's ever a time for us to know that people have declared war on our people, is when they touch one of our women. When they touch one of our women, harass them, put their hands on them, that is when we should take action against some people. If I could find the video, where is it at? Because people have it in their mind that they could just put their hands on our women and children. And we have to put a stop to it. I may have to rewind it back a little bit because I was watching it earlier. Just bear with me, family. Yeah, we have to stop approaching our enemies unprepared, because our enemies bait us into fights because they want to shoot one of us dead. We have to stop that. We really have to stop that. When we approach these people, we have to think worst case scenario. And the main thing they use is that they were scared. When someone approach you, when someone harm your child or get in your woman's face, what do they expect? Any man who has a woman is not going to allow, who has a wife is not going to allow anybody to get in their wife's face. I know I'm not. Get my wife's face, it's going to be a situation. There will be no raising of the voice or none of that to my wife, or it's going to be a problem instantaneously. No warning, because if I'm with her, she with me, or she come to me and she tell me that somebody did something, it's automatically no talking, especially if somebody got touched. There is absolutely no talking.
You heard what the fuck I said? I said you need to back the fuck up. That's a woman.
This is how we're supposed to handle them when they accost our women, when they get in our women's face. Now, this brother's married. This is not his wife, but he's seen this going on, and he stepped in on the sister's behalf.
And you's a motherfucking man. Now what you gonna do? Go the fuck off. Go the fuck off. Go the fuck off. Put that gun away. Fuck you. Put that gun away, motherfucker. Go ahead. Go ahead. You just threatened me. Gun away. You just threatened me, motherfucker. Fuck you. Gun away. You're not a man. You ain't a man. I ain't used shit yet. Boy, put your motherfucking hands on me. I don't give a fuck who you call. You did this. You're the one that's aggressive to everybody. I don't care who you call. Call a cop. Call a cop. In my face. In his face. Yes,
And I'm going to record all of it because I'm here for it
that's
today.
right. I'm a pregnant woman. You got our ball in our face. We got this lady filming. Just walk away. He's got a gun, ma'am.
I've been recording every second, sir, since you got out of the car.
Do your business. Get the fuck one out of here. Yes, I am.
You were about to hit her.
Come on, film, boy. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. I tell you what, I will break your motherfucking face. What? That's what I said.
Ooh,
That's
let
what
me
I
get
said.
my
Put your
shit.
hands on me. Go ahead. Put your hands on me. Put your hands on me. You got a gun. What? That's right. So what? You jumping in my brake. I ain't even pointed at nobody. You's a lying motherfucker. I got it on film. Go ahead. You motherfucker! That's right, you motherfucker! Do it again! Do it again!
Every single time. That's how you handle it. Be prepared. Don't be the aggressor, but be prepared. Worst case scenario. All levels, whether it's verbal, you got to use the hands. You got to take it all the way to how these people use the first resource. We have to be prepared for them because they bait us, and then when we fight them back, they shoot us dead. We have to stop approaching our enemies unprepared.
Kill you, you motherfucker! Come on! You don't hit people! You don't try to hit me! What the hell is wrong with you?
Peace to Equator 7. Salute to you.
He done wrote a check that his ass could not cash.
Listen, call the cops! Call the cops!
Child, let me go to calling the cops.
Fuck back there! Fuck back there! Fuck back there! Don't hit me, motherfucker! You hit him, crazy! What? Yes!
You hit him first. Look at this man's eye.
By who?
You hit him first. I'm about to leave ground beef and McCart and stuff, trying to be defending this pregnant lady.
You on the prison. You on the prison. You hit me. I hit you.
I've been recording since he got out of the car. Since he got out of the car. Well, they love to call the police, but this white man about to jump on this damn pregnant girl. Hell no. She better than me because my pregnant ass would have fuck out his old ass.
Run your motherfucking mouth. That's all you gonna do. You need to get out.
Now, where I'm getting at with the whole situation is we have a sister who has children, and her neighbor, it's been an ongoing situation. Her neighbor has been calling the children names, the white children and the black children, calling them all names. You know, ongoing situation, telling the white children to get away from the black children, because one day they're going to be raped by the black children, and then calling the black children niggers and monkeys and everything. And one day, one of the children came and told their mother that the lady threw a skate at the child. So what woman, yet in particular, one of our women, who's going to hear one of their children say that somebody did something to them and don't deal with that situation instantaneously? A black woman in particular, she's not going for somebody putting their hands on their children. They're going to get to the bottom of that. Believe that. So the sister went over to the neighbor's house, knocked on the door, and the neighbor shot her through the door, killing her. Now, she said she went and purchased a gun because she was scared, using the same tactic and excuse that all of them use when they aggress us. They bait us into a fight just to pull out a weapon. She said she went and bought the gun because she was afraid. Yet, you are calling children names and hitting children just to get the mother over there so you can kill her. Now, I'm going to go to this next video where the neighbor is telling the media what happened concerning the mother being shot by the neighbor.
Breaking news.
The woman accused of shooting and killing a mother of four in Ocala is now in custody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. Fox 35's Valerie Boy is live right now outside the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And Valerie, we understand that the sheriff is with you right now.
That's right, Luann. You know, I have just been told that the accused shooter is in custody. And at that moment, I was told she had not yet been arrested. But now joining me is Sheriff Billy Woods. And Sheriff Woods, tell me, has she been arrested yet?
She has been arrested. She's here on our campus here. She's being there. My detectives are finishing up with some interviews with her at this time. And then once they have concluded, she will be escorted into the county jail.
And is her name being released yet?
At this moment, no, it's not, but here soon it will be, and it'll be out there in a press release that my PIOs are about to give out.
And can you tell me what was it that determined she did shoot this woman and that it was not an act of self-defense?
You know, the whole time we had only one side of the story, okay? We know that she shot through the door.
Now, she's claiming self-defense. And she's saying she was scared. That's why she went out and purchased the gun. The neighbors are saying it was a feud and that the police was called at least 6 times on this woman for bothering the children.
Of course, on her side of the story, she makes claims that her life was being threatened. And the way the laws are written in this state, and this is what people need to understand, is our hands are tied in law enforcement in these cases where
Big fat DJ ZPE.
Make the arrest.
Never stand in front of that door like that.
Whether the shooting was justified or unjustified. So one of the biggest things is the interview of witnesses, and some of our witnesses were the mother's kids. And obviously we were not going to interview them that night after watching their mother be shot and killed. Okay. So we did it on Monday morning so that they sat down with counselors. They didn't, it wasn't my investigators, it's to do this the right way so that they could sit down and the counselors can talk to them to get the children to talk. And they did. And we got a bigger picture, and we got the full picture. And a lot of the hard work of my detectives wanted to ensure that we closed all the loopholes so that she would not have a defense of using stand the ground law. And this is not a stand the ground. Okay, let me make that clear. This was not, and it was an unjust.
I'm glad that the sheriff is making this clear. They're not buying that I was scared or she was aggressed and the stand your ground law, because this is Florida. They do have the stand your ground laws. Yet I'm glad this is not the case concerning this particular shooting.
Justified shooting of Miss Owen, and she's arrested for it.
And what was it like for you to see the protests, to see the emotions so high, saying, why hasn't there been an arrest yet?
You know, it's frustrating internally because there's so much information, like myself, us CAOs and law enforcement have. We know the direction is going, and we can't give out information. And it's difficult because here's the truth. Did we want to make the arrest that night? Absolutely, we did. There's no doubt about it. It's tragic when we see somebody that just shoots through a door and shoots another human being, really just because of a neighborhood squabble. That's what it boiled down to. And it's extremely frustrating.
It was not a neighborhood squabble. It's a wicked ass, racist ass white woman calling children names and hitting children and just being a tyrant in the neighborhood.
Because these people that come, and let me make this clear, this is not what we saw today, was not my community. Now, they'll stand up for what they believe in. But that was not Marion County. And the majority of these people that come, they're not even from this community. They're not even from this state. And my community knows that justice will be served. And justice was served tonight from my office. And we will get it through the prosecution. And that's the other part of the process is that we have to ensure that the case we build and we give it to the state attorney's office, that when it does go to trial, it's sealed. And we all know, it's up to the jurors when it comes to a case, if she even goes that far. But we want to ensure that we haven't missed anything. And my detectives work hard, vigilantly, and they've been working hard and vigilantly since that night.
And so what will the charge be?
Right now, the first charge is manslaughter with the firearm, culpable negligence because of the children being present. Third, because of the incident with the children just prior.
She shot the mother through the door with the children present. That's how our women do things. They'll bring the children with them and they'll confront whoever hit them or did whatever it was to them. And they'll have their child as a witness, because our women don't play when they come to our children. They'll jump on you like ugly on a damn ape when it comes to our children. Yet, we're in a climate where these people are shooting us. They are baiting us and shooting us. Our people can't even work for FedEx and deliver packages without being shot at and ran off by neighborhood thugs who just want to have a kill, because some people just love killing. That's why they have the deer hunt and the bear hunt every year, because they love killing something, anything. In New Jersey, every year they have the bear season where you can kill bears. They want to go out and kill anything to get it out their system that they killed something that year. But I think if they had a choice to kill a bear or one of us, they'll choose one of us.
Prior, the additional charges are assault and battery on the children themselves before the shooting that occurred.
And was there ring video of this whole incident?
That one I don't know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
But it was really the children that made
Children were the key, and any other witnesses in which we had. More the ring thing is just affirmed to us of what we were looking for is her possibly deleting ring video. So I don't know. Personally, I do not have all of that information.
She deleted the ring video because the Ring video will incriminate her and show exactly what she did, and it would show the sister being shot through the door while the children were present. She's putting her hands on somebody's child because, again, that's how they bait us. That's how the brother was baited at the convenience store in Florida, where the brother was inside the store while this man was at his car barking on his woman. He came out and pushed the man down, and when the man fell, he reached and shot up and killed the brother. See, the mistake the brother made was he didn't knock his ass out cold. When somebody put their hands on your woman, you don't play around with that. And you got to realize where you're at and who you're dealing with. I'm trying to get this through my people's head. When we approach these people, especially when it doesn't make sense, just always think that they're baiting you and know that they have something on them. And you can't deal with them with kid gloves. You got to deal with them with steel gloves. And don't play when it comes to the contact. And what I'm not understanding in the state of Florida is if you can just walk into a gun store and purchase a gun, if you are a law-abiding citizen, if you don't have a jail record, why don't these brothers and sisters have weapons also? Because a coward, I repeat, a coward is not as willing to die as he is to kill. So if there's a equal chance of him dying too, he gonna keep that gun holstered because they're not willing to die as they are to kill. They're cowards by damn nature.
Information at this time to be able to give you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Okay, and as you just heard, the accused shooter has been arrested. She is in custody, and soon we will learn her name. Reporting live in Ocala, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Valerie, thank you for that update. Again, that woman is going to be charged.
It's getting ridiculous that our people don't consider themselves as much as these other people consider themselves and don't deal with our enemies, accordingly. They make themselves our enemies. It's not that, and also I'm going to say all Caucasian.
After days of investigating and a family and community calling for justice, we are hearing directly.
All Caucasian people don't think this way, but I'm not going to take that chance. In the event that they do think that way, we must be ready. Not being midnight marauders like they are, out seeking what they can devour, trying to bait someone just so they can shoot them. This been going on for how long, and our people still buy it hook, line, and sinker. And it's just driving me bananas every time I see a story like this.
From the sheriff about the arrest and the shooting death of a local mom.
It's a story that has been gaining national attention. Susan Lawrence was arrested just last night on manslaughter charges. Deputies say she shot and killed Ajika Owens through a closed door. News 6's Lauren Cervantes starts our coverage live in Marion County. And Lauren, you got an update from the sheriff.
Yeah, in a one-on-one interview with Sheriff Billy Woods, he tells me Lawrence was not standing her ground in this case.
And here in this case, we look at it, even with the shooter's statements, the door being shut, okay, not being able to see beyond the door. There are certain things that raises that hair to say,
My sentiment has always been, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You have to be aware of your surroundings and who you're dealing with. Have your head on a swivel. Because if you are not behaving in accordance to what I just said, you're setting yourself up and you're waiting your turn to be a victim. Just waiting your turn. So when you deal with who we know are our open and consistent enemy, you have to deal with them accordingly. All I can say is when it comes to any type of violence, that I won't start it. It's the only thing I can promise anybody, that I won't start it, but I will fight with those who fight against me. Like hell. My wrath will come down, but it would be a counter. But my counter will be very, very, very aggressive. Only thing I can promise that I won't start.
This ain't quite here.
After days of investigating and cries for justice from a mourning family and community, Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods says his detectives have the evidence to arrest 58-year-old Susan Lawrence for shooting through the door of her home and killing Ajika Owens.
And I don't care what that attorney presents to them in the courtroom. For me and my detectives, this was an unjustified shooting. Clear.
Sheriff Woods says his first call after the arrest was to Owens's family.
Their reaction was what you would expect of individuals that were seeking justice. The relief that I could hear in their voice, because it was by phone.
Deputies say the shooting was the end result of a long-standing feud between Lawrence and Owens, a feud that escalated over the weekend after deputies say Lawrence took an iPad or tablet from Owens' kids, and when they went to get it back, investigators say Lawrence threw skates at them, hitting one of the children. That's when they say Owens went over to confront Lawrence, and Lawrence claimed self-defense and said Owens was banging down her door. The sheriff telling me in their interview with Lawrence, it brought up the issue of stand your ground, something he says is not a—
Behold the face of a cold-blooded, wicked murderer. Exactly what she is, a cold-blooded, wicked murderer.
applicable in this case.
You're saying that it's because there was a door that was closed. She couldn't see the woman. How could she be in fear of her life without knowing what's on the other side of the door?
Correct. That's what makes us doubt her statement. But it doesn't mean we ignore her statement just because I doubt it. That's what probably gave us to say, I know this ain't true.
The sheriff's office has received criticism from some in the community over how long it took to make an arrest, with the shooting happening last Friday and the arrest coming yesterday on Tuesday. But Sheriff Woods tells me they are required to follow the law. And when Lawrence claimed self-defense, they had to look at stand your ground. But he tells me the evidence proves that that was not the case in this situation. For now in Marion County.
Now, some of the neighbors are saying the same thing, that it wasn't justified and she was a wicked, grumpy ass woman starting trouble with the neighbors and their children. And it's just wicked. No other words that you can describe when it comes to this woman. She's just a wicked ass woman who ended up doing the inevitable, murdering someone.
The field is a public field. We live in an apartment complex. Nobody owns anything. We all lease. And even the field is big. So, it's really big. Even when they play out there, they don't play on the side where her apartment is. They play on the other side to avoid all this confusion, but she comes out anyways. Anytime the kids are out there, she's coming outside. She antagonizes kids. She calls them names, slaves, racial slurs, all kinds of stuff, all of the children.
Did she say something to your children?
Yes, she says stuff to everybody's children. She's told my daughter that she was going to be raped if she didn't get off of her property.
Justice for AJ. Justice for AJ. And we hope that the state attorney will consider these witness statements from those neighbors who lived in that apartment complex who had to deal with this.
Now, what I'm going to go on the limb and say that this was a premeditated murder and also a hate crime. She did this because she hated that woman. For her to antagonize children and call children names that's nowhere near her home and taking property from children, and when the children go and ask for it back, she throw things at them. That's a hate crime.
Woman who antagonized their children on a systematic basis, on a routine basis, for children playing. And I love what Pamela said in a previous interview. It was her bullying children. Right. I mean, she would bully these children. And the fact that she threw skates at children, you know, so the state attorney has to look into, was there any racial components when she shot through the door and killed AJ?
Definitely a racial component. She didn't like the sister because she was one of us. And she didn't like the children because they were one of us. And she didn't like the white children because the white children played with the black children. She was just a wicked ass woman who should have been living in isolation. That's where she should have. She should be living somewhere not around anybody for miles. Because again, she did the inevitable. And she baited the sister. I'm going to keep saying that. She baited the sister because that's what they do. That's what these wicked, cowardly bastards do. They bait people into confrontation, and then they do the coward thing, pull out a weapon because they can't throw their hands, their feet, and their elbows and their knees. They can't do that. They're not built like that. So they pull out a gun and escalate it to deadly force because, again, outright cowards.
I think there was one time the children said not one time, I guess a few times she told them, this ain't the Underground Railroad.
Peace to my brother Hawkeye. Salute to you, brother. We cannot approach our enemies not considering worst case scenario of what can happen.
Yeah, we've been talking to them back and forth, and they want to make their message clear to everyone at the same time first. But we will have a sit down with them later on today. And this arrest of the suspect comes after days of public outcry for her to be put behind bars. Investigators say witnesses told them that Ajika AJ Owens was confronting Susan Lawrence after a dispute with her children.
Salute to the family. Carbon King. Salute, family.
Who were playing in a field next to her home. Now, Lawrence is now accused of throwing a skate at one of the kids, and that's when AJ went next door. Investigators tell us that Lawrence then shot and killed AJ by shooting through her closed door. Originally, she was put into handcuffs and placed in a patrol car, but was let go after investigators said that had to look into her claims that she was standing her ground. Now, there's no question that the race of the victim and the suspect heightened tensions even more when Lawrence was not immediately arrested, and that led us to seeing protesters marching through downtown Ocala yesterday and ultimately inside the courthouse to the state attorney's office demanding that action be taken. Now, prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump is working with the family. His team has blamed the delayed arrest on the controversial stand your ground law, and while someone is now behind bars, they said they will not be satisfied until a conviction is made. Now, the family and Crump are expected to speak coming up in just a few moments. We do have a crew inside. As soon as they start speaking, we'll have it in its entirety on our West U News Facebook page and also right here on West U News at noon. But earlier today, our own Tony.
The sister was 38 years old, doing what any mother would do if their child said somebody threw something at them. Confront the person who did it, and she shot through the door, killing her. Like the coward, like the racist cave bitch she is.
Atkins was also in Marion County talking to neighbors about the reaction of that arrest that occurred overnight.
From the basketball hoops to the bikes left roadside, no doubt this neighborhood tells the story of a place where kids spend a lot of time outside. Today, the streets are quiet after days of tension.
She took someone's kid's mom away. She didn't just kill someone, she killed someone's mom.
Megan Stevens is talking about her neighbor from across the street, Susan Lawrence, who's now charged with shooting her neighbor from next door, Ajika Owens, or AJ for short. Parents.
Now, this woman is like a year older than I am, and she looked like she's old enough to be my mother. It sickens me when I see people my age acting like this. She looked like she about 78 years old, and she's only 58.
Here say all the kids play outside together, many of them black or mixed. They say Lawrence would often call them slurs before things escalated.
Calling them the N-word, hard R, whatever, stuff that.
This memorial right here is the result of what?
She said hard R. As if you soften up the R, it means something different. I swear these people, boy.
Happened in this field. Now, people in this neighborhood say this field is where kids like to play. You can see why. Because
peace. Salute to Anthony Lowe. Thanks for coming through, family.
It has so much space, and this is where all the children in the area would come and play. Now, they say that Lawrence really had an issue with kids playing near her home. It eventually escalated, and Owens came over from her house across the street to confront Lawrence, and that's when deputies say she shot through her front door, killing Owens.
And I heard a bang on my door so loud that my windows were shaking. And I came outside, and her son was literally gasping for air, telling me that his mother had been shot by the lady across the street.
You said you knew who that was.
I knew who it was immediately.
Phyllis Willis says these moments were heart-wrenching, seeing her friend and neighbor dead across the street. Her message to the woman accused of shooting AJ was simple.
I hope she rots in hell.
In Marion County, Tony Atkins, West 2 News.
And coming up tonight on West U News at 4, 5, and 6, we're going to dive deeper into this story, including talking to the person who wrote the Stand Your Ground law here in the state of Florida, what he says about this case and whether or not that law applies. We also have a one-on-one interview coming up with Sheriff Billy Woods. I'll be doing that in just a few moments from now. And we have team coverage that continues inside of this church as we're expecting to hear from the family and Attorney Crump very soon. For now, reporting live in Marion.
Now, this Stand Your Ground law was only written because they wanted to escalate the violence against our people. They wanted to shoot us and just say that they were standing their ground. They wanted to bait us into confrontation and then shoot us because a lot of our people, we don't like having guns, obviously. And if we do have guns, we point them in the wrong damn direction. We point them at each other instead of pointing them at our open and consistent enemy. Not that we should point guns at anybody unjustifiable. But if you're going to point a gun at somebody, you point the gun at the person who's pointing at you. And you stand your ground. Everybody is standing their ground in Stand Your Ground states except us, with the exception of this brother that was defending the sister. Now, to answer the question of Carbon King, as far as the do I think some of the incidents are a hoax and put on MSM just to provoke us? I really can't say, because if I did say something like that, it'd be undermining and be very insensitive to the people who lost their loved one. I really can't say, because if I said it's a hoax, it's a some type of false flag, and it really happened and somebody really lost their loved one, that'd be very insensitive of me to say. You know, so I can't do that. I just can't, because Alex Jones was going around telling people that the what the school shooting was a hoax, and it cost his ass everything. Cost him everything. Yet some of the shootings, the mass shootings and these other events, I do think some of them are hoax. Yet I'm not going to pinpoint what's a hoax and what's not a hoax, because again, it'd be insensitive to the family who lost their loved one. I can't do that. Yet that's what you get when you have people who lie to you on a constant basis, and you have multi-ethnic destruction in America, the media. When you have them giving you your news, I remember a time when reporters just reported the news. Now, today, the news is full of damn opinions. When I was growing up, they just reported the news. The only time you would get an opinion from an editor is when they did an editorial, ever so often. But now today, the news are full of just opinions. Peace. Salute to Jewel 512. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate that. Get on. I always say when people say false flag, I said, well, tell that to that people's family. Because if I know if I lost a loved one, nobody better not say anything remotely close to is a false flag. Because if I'm burying my loved one, that shit is real. It's real. And we have to be mindful that some of these people do get hurt and people do get murdered and killed in these so-called drills. So when they ask you to do this thing, this drill, turn it down, because it's a setup. We need to understand that it's a setup. We have to understand who we're dealing with. We're dealing with liars, of people every time they open their mouth, a lie is coming out. So that's how we deal with these people. And when we approach them, just know that they're violent. Now, whenever you have a police officer walking up to a car and it's a traffic stop, and somebody end up dying at that traffic stop, the only person who can escalate that with an unarmed person is the one who have the gun. The police officer will escalate it and end up killing somebody over traffic. A lot of times when you pull somebody over for whatever reason, you're supposed to give them the ticket according to the infraction. But they start asking questions other than traffic questions. And then they want to go to the other side and question the passenger, in which the passenger don't have to give them no information. But just because the passenger invokes his or her rights, they escalate the situation. And then if they're dealing with a real man, it's going to escalate, because a real man is not going to capitulate to their bullshit. So when they're dealing with a real man, it angers them. It blows them through the roof to deal with a real man, because they have this perceived power and they want people to obey them and comply to their unlawful requests and orders. Now, we have people that would tell me that it's not about race. If that makes them feel better, they can rock with that. But I know what I've seen in 57 years. I know what I've seen in 57 years. Now, wherever your walk is, it's your walk. But I can't take what I've been through and make it to the whole of our people. But be considerate. And don't stand idly by and wait your turn to be a victim. And it seems that's what our people are doing. They wait their turn to be a victim. People know where they're at and they don't go accordingly. If you know you're in Florida, you're supposed to act like you're in Florida. You know people are going to buy guns. They're not buying guns to protect themselves. They're buying guns to murder you, to bait you, and to murder you. And saying they're protecting themselves and using an excuse that they were scared. If you're so scared, keep your ass away from the person that you're scared of. If you're that scared, stay away from the person that you're scared of. Why would you do something to draw that person that you're scared of to you? Again, but the sister should have never went over there like that. She shouldn't have gone over there like that. She know that's a damn wicked bitch. Why would she go over there like that? And babies are without their mother because our sister didn't act accordingly. And it's hurtful. I'm tired of seeing it. I really am. And it does do something to our people, psychologically, it does. And if you want somebody to stop doing something to you, are people who delight in the shedding of blood, delight taking lives. If you want them to stop doing things to you, you don't ask them, because they're not going to stop doing things to you. And you can't go to their brethren to ask them to do something about their behavior. That's their brethren, those who think like them. Salute to the goddess of love. Thank you for coming through, sis. Now, if it's their brethren, they're not going to do nothing about their behavior, those who think like them, because everybody don't think like that. You have people that go to work and do their job. All they want to do is do their job and go home. And then you got those overzealous people. They don't care. They're with those so-called good old boys. Peace to my brother, Bronze Flat Power God. Thanks for coming through, family. And they just roll with the punches or whatever the game is in that city or that town. Now, the worst police to deal with is the ones in those small towns, because they catch you with out-of-state plates. They're pulling you over just to get your money. Just to get your money. and then they inconvenience you because if they know you from 500-600 miles away, it's just to get your money. Yet when you want somebody to stop doing something to you, you have to stop them. You have to stop them from doing things to you. Peace to the brother Dominic. Thank you for coming through, brother. Anybody want to come up? The link is in the chat. I'm not going to be long, but the link is in the chat. I invite anybody who wants to come up to come up. Yeah, we must. I'm going to keep repeating myself until our people get it. We must stop approaching our enemies unprepared. Because we are unprepared. If we approach our enemy expecting them to consider our lives. They don't consider our lives. Again, I'm not going to be long. I want to play a little music to take as a matter of fact, I'm going to play my promo, my merch promo. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir, showing off the Enemy's Public merchandise that my wife made me for Father's Day. We have the Enemy's Public shorts with the TEP and the crosshairs. And we also have the Enemy's Public t-shirt with the TEP with Bro.Nasir, the Enemy's Public on the sleeve. And we have a YouTube logo on the bottom, letting people know that I'm on YouTube. And if they want to get to my channel, all they have to do is that if they have a scanner on their phone, is come and scan the barcode on their phone, and then you can go directly to my YouTube channel just by scanning the barcode on my t-shirt. That way, instead of people not being able to find my channel, they could find my channel just by scanning the barcode. That's fly. Instead of people trying to find me in the algorithm, they can find me directly just by scanning the barcode. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace. Yes, that merch will be available in a little bit. I'm going to do it in mass production. I'm just trying to find, someone who I can get a good deal with in making the merch in mass production. Going to have watches, going to have head wraps, fitteds, snapbacks, sweatsuits. I'm going to do it all. I have coffee mugs, got all that stuff coming. So look out for it. When I do, I'm going to do another promo and show it off and see what we can do with that, But again, when we are out in this wilderness of North America, brothers and sisters, be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, and be mindful of who we're dealing with when we're out here. And just knowing that you're in the wilderness of North America is like what they say, half the battle. Know who we're dealing with and knowing where we're at is half the battle. And then we'll be okay. And then our brothers, when we see something going on concerning our people, I mean, it's cool to record it, to have it on record, but we have to start intervening. We got to stop yelling and screaming like females talking to the brothers now, because a female is supposed to act like a female, but a man is not. It's good to have it recorded. Hand that phone to a sister and tell that sister to record it. But when it comes to dealing with our people, we have to intervene. If you see one of these wicked demons accosting our sister, you're supposed to intervene, or our elderly or our children. We're supposed to step to that instantaneously for the step to that. Tell that sister to record it, to get it on record. And we handle it accordingly. Again, stop recording stuff, without intervening. That's the problem I have with some of our brothers. You hear them in the background recording stuff, even recording our sisters fighting instead of getting between them and breaking it up. We'll record that. You know what kind of man that is to me? He's a bitch. A woman is not a bitch because she act like a woman. A man is a bitch if he act like a woman. We got to stop this foolishness. And garner and keep our respect. Maintain it and command it. Because our women and our children and our elderly are soft targets. And whenever somebody think that they could put their hands on them, whenever somebody do that, automatically it's a declaration of war. And we're supposed to go to war with whoever put their hands on them. Supposed to be wartime. There's no talking. Once somebody's touched, there's no talking. We possibly could talk it out if it's just verbal. But once somebody is touched, there is no talking. After we can talk. After we whoop on some ass. But once somebody's touched, there's no talking. What is there to say after you put your hands on somebody? I'm sorry. I didn't know that was your people's. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I don't know if my people hear it in my voice, but I'm sick and tired of a lot of shit when it comes to our people. I'm going to play a little music. I want to hear this one.
I'm a real nigga and shit, man. I keep telling you niggas, man, stop playing with me, man. Y'all niggas be taking, y'all take motherfuckers humbleness for a weakness. You think as a nigga and shit, you know what I'm saying? Be on some chill shit. You have an opportunity for you to just walk all over motherfuckers, say what you want. Play into it, shit. Niggas just know to be like this. You feel me? Niggas love to stick their noses into shit like this. Niggas love to run, tell that gossip like
I've been seeing shit through night vision. That mean I see you eyes closed. I told you I would get you. Now it's time, die slow. Dangerous, the spirit of rap. I'm in the flesh. Talent is a body of work that I possess. You fucking with the wrong gun. Better let it speak to them up close and personal. Underneath the nigga chin, that's how you make a brainstorm. Any bad thoughts you was having, I just put it in the air, they get rained on. Niggas always doing a lot until they dead ones. Bodies get viewed in the box over these breadcrumbs. Similar to Broadway stages, shit get clapped up. They become vacational clothes, niggas get packed up. I could tell you building on lies. What the fuck for a lion that talk to the sky? This shit a uproar. You can't get a slice of the pie. Bitch, this ain't a pizza. Tell me what it's like when you die. See you when I see you.
Like real talk, man. I'm an 80s baby and shit, man. I still do all the old school principles and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk. But on some real shit though, man, let me get right to it though. Like real talk.
On this internet, niggas who talk, they be straight soft. Catch one of them niggas slipping and blow they face off. Real shit, do it myself. I never make calls. Bullshit, fire my gun till it been laid off. Imagine what it do to your dreads, my nigga. Trust me. One shot, fuck up your locks like Puffy. Point blank, all you saw, how niggas moved in. Got your shit all on the walls like school gyms. Should've be a movie when I step on the set. My chain glow, got me looking like a special effect. It hang low, when it shine, it be dripping respect. It gave hope to all them niggas that was wishing me death. You in a veggie state, coma, they ain't giving you hope. Cause your body's still alive, but it's missing your soul. This shit the Matrix, and no, it ain't no script for your role. Cause you ain't never pay attention to the glitch in the road.
Right, man, you try to play with me,
Salute, Dre. Thanks for coming through, fam.
like you try to put a fucking, you know, facade out there just like I'm some type of phony motherfucker. I'm some type of fraud nigga, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of them snake ass niggas, something like that. I've been one of the most transparent niggas on YouTube, shit. Like real shit. I ain't never had a problem with coming on this motherfucking being my motherfucking self. Like real shit. I ain't never had a problem with coming on this motherfucker and being myself with no motherfucking bad shit. I'm a nigga from the street, dog. I done did time and shit, dog. You think I'm a nigga on YouTube, on the internet and shit? Paint a picture as if I'm a fraud ass nigga and shit. Like I'm some type of motherfucking sneaky ass nigga. Nah, I'm very transparent. I'll kick your motherfucking ass. You big ass head. Get your hair out. Your shit is fucked up. Your shit is way back here. You in the army, you have to speak like this. You got a shirt. You ain't got a phone here. You got a mind. Really?
I don't have no doubt that our
When you find
people
yourself with your gun drawn, it's when the love gone.
will get our shit together.
Bad thoughts make a dark cloud. Don't fuck around and
No
get
doubt.
rained on. Hell boy, let the Nina sing. Feel the breeze underneath the wings. Treat your town like Stephen King. Set up shop and sell needful things. You step on my toes, there them shots go. Guns with high lows, nigga, we got those. Letting them all fly, hitting them my foes. Cause niggas you let slide be Donnie Brasco. Make a movie out of these niggas, they can't move. Checkmate across the ball, we can't lose. Death day sent for niggas in black suits. Quiet kill silence is getting attached to. The front seat is what you dying on. You was riding calm and got fired on. Them niggas too, that was in the coupe. Got caught up in your ride along. I assassinate when they recorded me. But this gunshot to be the next hit. I just hope you niggas move accordingly. Cause we all can see you made a death. Y'all niggas can't move the way I move. Y'all niggas can't do the things I do. I'm talking about cruising altitudes. I'm talking about cruising avenues. I'm talking about pulling up with me. You breaking all the rules and I'm a shoe. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you. Your girl said you was an X-Man, so I pulled up in first class. She told us where to find you at, so niggas pulled up in the purge mask. The bomb dropped, you never heard rap. Now these niggas get served bad. When it goes down, niggas hurt sad. But it ain't my fault when you dirt trash. Being broke to make a crime move. Then it comes a point when it's time to. When niggas laugh, you get a bigger gat and go to war with the world like Tom Cruise. This fake shit, it don't mean much. Just a bunch of shit we could do without. things fly when niggas run their mouth. A bunch of dead niggas to make a move. Y'all niggas can't move the way I move. Y'all niggas can't do the things I do. I'm talking about cruising altitudes. I'm talking about cruising avenues. I'm talking about pulling up on me. You breaking all the rules and I'ma shoot. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm about to make a movie out of you. I'm talking about cops and camera crews. I'm about to make a movie out of you.
I want to thank all the family for joining me this evening. I appreciate it beyond words. Indeed, I do. I want to thank you by name, DJ ZPE, Big Dog Philly OG, Joel 512, Anthony Lowe, The Goddess of Love, Carbon King, Dre Cobbs, Dominique, Bronze Flat Power God, Hawkeye. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. Until the next time, this is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is the canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Public.